The World Cup begins on November 20 with more than 800 players traveling to Qatar to take part in the tournament. But some of the world's best players won't be there as their nations fail to qualify for the event. Some of the early heartbreaks came from Erling Haaland, Mohamed Salah and Gianluigi Donnarumma, as Norway, Egypt and Italy were among the teams that failed to qualify. Here are 10 players who will be missed in the mega sporting event. Number 1. Erling Haaland. Haaland made his international debut at the age of 19, scoring 21 goals in 23 matches. However, arguably the world's current best young striker could only score 5 goals during the World Cup qualifiers. Norway collected 18 points from its 10 qualification matches and finished third behind the Netherlands and Turkey in their group. Number 2. Mohamed Salah of Egypt. One of the biggest stars of the football world won't be in the Middle East's first World Cup as his country failed to qualify for the tournament. First, they lost Africa Cup of Nations final in February, then came the World Cup qualification playoff, which went to a penalty shootout after 2 legs. Salah's kick from the spot sailed over the goal as Egypt lost 3-1 on penalties. Back in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, Salah's appearance was hampered by injury and he failed to take his team past the group stages. Now, at the age of 30, it remains to be seen if Salah can make an attempt to play another World Cup. Number 3. David Alaba of Austria. David Alaba won his 3rd Austrian Sports Personality of the Year award this year, in addition to his 8 Australian Footballer of the Year awards. Despite being one of Austria's best footballer over the past decade, the 30-year-old defender has not played a World Cup as his country has not qualified for the tournament since 1998. Number 4. Riyad Mahrez of Algeria. Despite consistently being one of the best players from Africa in the recent years, the France-born wingers team has failed to qualify for the 2022 edition. But Algeria's absence in Qatar could also bring an end to Mahrez's hopes of playing another World Cup as he will be 35 in 4 years' time. Number 5. Martin Ødegaard. The Norwegian made his professional league debut at the age of 15 and was snapped up by Real Madrid a year later, finally making himself at home in London with Arsenal. The midfielder has been praised for his vision with the ball and his precision with set pieces, but his talents alone were not enough to see his side through to the World Cup this year. Number 6. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Donnarumma has successfully established himself as the best young goalkeeper in the world and a worthy successor for Gianluigi Buffon, but Italy's exit from the qualifiers means Donnarumma will have to wait at least 4 more years before making his World Cup debut. Number 7. Franck Kessié of Ivory Coast. Kessié made his Ivory Coast debut at the age of 17 and has scored 7 goals in 60 international games. But as Ivory Coast failed to make it to the final 32 of the World Cup tournament, the 25-year-old midfielder's hopes of playing in the biggest football event was kept to wait. Number 8. Luis Díaz of Colombia. Luis Díaz easily represents the Colombian football, scoring 8 goals in 37 appearances since his international debut in 2018. But Díaz won't be able to put his talent on display in Qatar as Colombia failed to qualify for the event. The 25-year-old Liverpool winger even showed his frustration in a Twitter post. Number 9. Marco Verratti of Italy. Verratti made his international debut for Italy at the age of 20, but injuries and Italy's poor performance in the 2014 World Cup and Euro 2016 kept him away from top international action. At the qualifiers for this year's event, North Macedonia shocked Italy to keep Verratti away from the World Cup. Number 10. Victor Osimhen of Nigeria. A promising young striker from Nigeria, Victor Osimhen is the winner of the Golden Boot at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup of 2015. The 23-year-old is also the leader of Napoli's attack in Serie A. The player came to the limelight for the first time when he struck 10 goals in the Under-17 World Cup and helped Nigeria win the trophy for a record 5th time. But Nigeria's failure to qualify for the 2022 event has denied the player the chance to put his talent on display at the biggest football event.